Hello everybody, Rechief here, and welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path, episodes 1 through 5, Beta. When we last left off, we were trying to figure out what this girl's deal is. This girl who may or may not be Kay Faraday. Guess we'll have to find out as we progress through the story. So let's keep going. Let's find out what's happening in this PIC meeting room. This room is... Would this room happen to be... Yes, sir. It's the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee's meeting room. That's convenient. What? It's here? I had heard they'd recently moved out of the prosecutor's building. To think they moved here of all places. Grand Tower pamphlet data updated down in my organizer. It's kind of a weird way to phrase it, but sure, why not? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! Kay! Okay, before we find out what Karen wants, let me look at where we got it here. Let me look at this Grand Tower pamphlet. It needs a cross-section of the tower and an overhead view of the platform. Oh, okay, that's straightforward. Alright. What the fuck? Oh, best character 2018. Well, I mean, obviously this game didn't come out in 2018, but you know what I mean. I'm discovering this character for the first time, and I love her. What brings you here? How are you holding up? We're in the middle of an investigation right now. Sorry, but who might this be? Ah, this is my granny. Let me just...
Hi there, Sonny. The name's Bonnie Young. Who the heck are you?
She says. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor. Miss Jensen isn't Young the name of...
Granny's the director at a Die Young hospital.
This old lady is the director.
Who you calling old? She says.
She can read my thoughts? Oh, so that granny's pretty important, huh? I wouldn't go that far. I mean, yes, she is.
These people are the patient's guardians. You know, the one with amnesia.
It seems she's a bit of an introvert.
Hey, Sonny, want me to cure that bad case of the frownies for you? She says.
I'm afraid that's an incurable disease for Mr. Edgeworth, pal.
Really, Granny? You want me to say that? I ain't got nothing to say to you whippersnappers. You're free to do whatever you want. But you better not get in the way of my autopsy.
Please wait. We're...
No means no.
Hey, you don't have the right to decide that, pal.
Ooh.
Sorry. Granny's the coroner, you see. And she's in charge of this case. So I'm very sorry, but that's the way it is.
What do you mean that's the way it is, pal?
Well, even if you ask me, I'm not the one who said it.
I kind of feel like I'm watching a comedy act, sir.
Well, we need to get back to the autopsy, so please excuse us. And take care.
What was with her attitude?
We received permission to investigate. There shouldn't be any problems.
That attitude of hers is a huge problem, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do we do now? We'll investigate the scene, of course. As a prosecutor, I cannot stand by and do nothing. Well then, let's begin. All right. But the policeman said the dead person is also named Kay. Then, I'm pretty sure I'm not the Kay that you know, Mr. Edgeworth. We shall investigate that now, but don't worry. There's no question that you are the Kay I know. Interesting. Okay. An amnesiac K and a corpse K. Both are connected to the Grand Tower. I am certain that this case will lead me to K's lost memories. Yeah, let's look at some stuff. Actually, first, what's happening, Gumshoe?
Yes, sir. For a homicide to occur out of the blue like that, it sure is surprising, sir. I may be a detective, but when things happen so suddenly, my mind goes completely blank. And that's why I haven't noticed anything at all, sir.
It takes a certain kind of talent to be able to declare that so cheerfully.
Oh. Are you saying I'm talented? I'm honored, sir. Being praised by Mr. Edgeworth. Those kind words. I'll never forget this moment.
He looks so happy I can't bring myself to tell him that it's all a misunderstanding. I never thought the PIC's meeting room would be right under the viewing platform. It sure saved us... Oh, whoops.
It sure saved us the trouble of getting here. In fact, the PIC is actually mentioned in this pamphlet, sir. It's in the Grand Tower's little gossip column. I'll read it for you. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee is located on the 50th floor of the Grand Tower. It's a place where prosecutors turn into ex-prosecutors. So come visit the 50th floor and see the dejected looks on the prosecutors' faces.
I'm not making a dejected face.
Hey, I'm just reading what's in the pamphlet, sir. The living K we have here and the dead K over there. Why do they have the same name? It can't just be a coincidence, sir.
Indeed. However, we won't be able to answer that question until we examine the body.
It's all because of that crabby coroner.
She is only doing her job. For now, all we can do is wait.
Then right now, since we have some time, allow me to present one of my theories to you, sir. The answer is simple. With all the advancements in scientific technology, what if the two Ks are clones? That's the only way any of this makes sense.
Let's investigate the other parts of the room until the autopsy's finished.
Oh, please don't ignore me like that, sir.
I promise I won't ignore you, Gumshoe. Yes? Can I help with something? This is an amazing room. There are large boxes filled with books, a stone sculpture, and sparkly windows. It seems you've also forgotten the names of objects. This might be helpful for recovering your memories. Just repeat after me. Bookcase. Broken safe. Stained glass. Stolen goods. Books on the law. Crooks on the lamb. Statue of the goddess. Snatched loot of the great thief. Are all her mistakes biased towards a certain way? Okay. Until just a few days ago you were calling yourself my assistant. Looking at me, is there anything you remember? Things I remember, huh? Well, yes, just one thing. Mr. Edgeworth, on the viewing platform above us. Oh? You pointed at me and... Yes? With a really scary face you interrogated me.
That happened just a few minutes ago. Oh, poor Kay. The terror of Mr. Edgeworth badgering you for contradictions is your only memory. It must be scary, pal. Hopeless. The end of the world, pal.
I should show this detective what true terror really is. Okay, before you lost your memories, you got along well with Detective Gumshoe.
Does looking at me help you remember anything, pal?
Do I remember anything? I know. For a while now, Mr. Edgeworth has been getting on your case.
That's not a memory. It's just a pleasant part of my daily life. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, so Detective Gumshoe thinks it's pleasant. It seems I'll have to get on his case even more from now on. Poor Gumshoe. Poor K. Or K-clone, or whatever. Well, if Edgeworth is certain that that's K, maybe it's just K. You there, tell me the situation about the security of this room.
Yes, sir. To enter this room, a special keycard is required.
I see. In other words, not just anyone can enter this room. Okay. So, the person who found the body was also...
Yes, he was a member of the PIC who had come here for today's hearing.
A member of the PIC? If not for this case, right now, I would be... Ooh. If things had gone as planned, I would have been standing here right about now.
Yeah, sir. I'm glad the PIC meeting was delayed, but the cause of the delay was due to a murder.
It's troubling to think that the PIC meeting could condemn my career as a prosecutor. In any case, my top priority right now is to find the truth behind this case. You said it, buddy. Well, let's see if we can get anything out of these two.
I'm sorry. Right now, Granny is in the middle of the autopsy, so... Are you Sonny's trying to get in the way of my autopsy? Is what she says. Could you please wait here just a little bit longer?
Yes, I suppose we have no choice. We'll come back to investigate the body later. Can I talk to Granny separately? Okay, no. Didn't think so, but you never know. Can we examine this desk? It's half of a large round table with 11 chairs. It seems to be based off a certain legend.
I know that one, sir. It's the famous Knights of the Brown... It's the famous Knights of the Brown Table. Was I wrong? Knights of the Clown Table? Knights who say knee?
He's getting colder, but I won't say anything. Is this the same? Yep, okay. Gotcha. I know that, like, I think I saw some blood up there. I just want to look at everything.
There's rows and...
Oh, whoops. There's rows and rows of books. This solemn atmosphere is kind of scary, sir.
Scary? I would think that books foster a feeling of familiarity.
Actually, I once got in a lot of trouble for running through the library at full speed, sir. But this is the library, so a light jog should be fine, right?
If I don't make sure to stop him, he might actually do it. No, not looking at that. Okay. Let's look at this blood. This is Lady Justice.
You sure do know a lot, sir. So what kind of powers does she have?
She's a symbol of justice, not a superhero. It said the scales represent justice, the sword power, and the blindfold equality. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Let's examine the suspicious-looking blood. A pool of blood lies at the feet of the goddess statue. Judging from the pool of blood, it seems this was where the victim was killed.
But, sir, the body's over there.
After murdering the victim, did the killer move the body? Interesting question, Edgeworth. Oh, are we done? Oh, shit. My favorite prosecutor.
You are... Oh, yes. What is it? That voice. It's Von Karma, right? Do you know her, Granny? Good to see you again, Doctor. And you as well, Miles Edgeworth.
What is she doing here?
Franziska von Karma. She's a prosecutor working with Interpol and the daughter of Manfred von Karma. She should be jetting around the world right now. But wherever there is a case, I will follow. National borders mean nothing before me. Your presence here must mean that this case has international significance.
You know well enough that I'm chasing a smuggling ring. I shall recover all the stolen goods and crush that organization.
Then, does that mean the smuggling ring is also involved in this particular case?
Any further information is confidential. I am not obligated to speak of it with you.
So, it won't be that easy.
Miss Franziska von Kormer? Granny says... The autopsy is complete. You're free to do what you want.
In that case, we would like to investigate as well.
I've heard rumors about you. No way am I letting you near that body. You're that prosecutor who's about to get the boot. You'd best run on home now, Sonny.
Just so you know, I wasn't the one who said that, okay?
Please, Granny, we need to investigate, no matter what. Hey, lassie, who you calling Granny?
I'm sorry. We're not getting anywhere. I guess I have no other choice. Franziska, please allow us to aid you in your investigation. We must examine that body in order to find out what happened to Kay.
To Kay Faraday?
I'm asking you too, sir. Kay's in really bad shape.
I don't know what's going on. But fine, I'll grant you permission. You have my thanks.
Of course, I didn't say it would come without a price. You will explain everything to me later.
We really owe you one, sir.
I wasn't talking to you, Scruffy. Ouch! So that's how it is. If you would be so kind as to authorize them too, Doctor. I suppose it's fine if he's with the prosecutor from Interpol, is what she says. And I fully agree with Granny. By the one common name, the entire world will be judged. That's just common knowledge.
That's rather conceited for common knowledge.
Well, it's none of my beeswax anymore, is what she says. I hope you don't get in trouble for this.
You needn't worry.
My reputation will not be shaken by something so petty.
Unlike me, who's on the verge of losing his badge. Oh yeah, begin another investigation. Well, I want to talk to my sister, adopted sister, whatever their situation is. Yes, what is it?
A murder case at the PIC meeting rooms. Since you asked to cooperate in the investigation, I do hope you will be able to produce results.
Naturally. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, now that you mention it, why are you here exactly?
That's right. She still doesn't know about my PIC hearing today.
The circumstances behind it are deeper than the sea, sir. Allow me to explain it on Mr. Edgeworth's behalf.
Miles Edgeworth, I do not care about your circumstances. All that matters now is reaching the truth of this case. Am I wrong?
Indeed, there is some truth in what you say.
If you ask me, I don't think that's totally...
I'll say this. Whipping someone is easier than being buried.
But being on the receiving end of the whip is the...
Franziska, why are you here when you're supposed to be working with Interpol?
Curious, are you? But it's confidential. I have no obligation to tell you.
Her response was as I expected.
More importantly, shouldn't there be a prosecutor in charge of this murder case? I don't know who it is, but I was hoping it would be someone completely useless. They're not even here yet. They're late. Just what is that fool doing?
Yeah! I have nothing to do with it, sir!
I wouldn't think it's very commendable to just whip people at random.
I swing, therefore I whip. That is my philosophy. I will whip anyone who slacks off in their work.
To the yet unseen prosecutor in charge, I hereby offer you my sympathies in advance. Judging from your exchange just now, I take it you've met Dr. Young before.
How astute, Miles Edgeworth. That's right. She is an acquaintance of mine. Back then, it's a long story.
It seems she doesn't intend to tell me anymore. Shall I leave it at that, then?
So what happened back then? Please tell me all about it, sir.
A foolish fool, shamelessly prying into other people's business. Watch what you say, Scruffy.
How cruel. Whipping me out of the blue. With great whip comes great responsibility, sir.
One good whip deserves another. The scruffy fool gets the whip. Try harder, worthless whip bait. Yeah!
It appears I was right to leave it at that. Franziska, I would like you to take a look at this. I'll ask just in case. What is that? It's my prosecutor's badge. And that is all. You should be relieved. You felt pain, right? What do you mean by that?
Fools can't catch colds, so I thought they wouldn't be able to feel pain either. Kay Faraday lost her memories? How dare you let that happen to her on your watch?
I have no defense.
It's not Mr. Edgeworth's fault. Are you alright, being bandaged up like that? Yes. Thank you for worrying about me. Her behavior is certainly strange. It's unusual to hear her give thanks like that.
Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and get her memories back!
Why don't you just admit that you're worried about her? That's cute.
Miles Edgeworth, unlike you, I am actually busy. I don't have the time to look at something like that. Why don't you just look at that evidence again by yourself?
She is certainly as harsh as ever. Anything else that she might be interested in here? Not that. What about the mask? Okay, let's look at the body. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Let's look at the body.
This body? It's not Kay, sir. It doesn't look like her at all.
Of course it isn't. Kay is alive, after all. Her age is, I guess, around 30. She's wearing a pantsuit.
Maybe she worked in one of the offices in this building.
So, her identity is still unknown. The question now becomes, why did the police believe her name was Kay? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, let's see here. Let's look at the blood. Let's look at the blood! Okay, there we go. There doesn't seem to be anything in this pocket.
This pocket has holes in it, sir.
Judging by how the cloth was pierced, she must have been stabbed by some sharp object.
All your coins would fall out of those holes, sir.
Detective, haven't you ever heard of a wallet?
Of course I have, sir. I just use my pockets, though. Most people do, right?
Never mind. Okay, we got less information out of that than I thought, except that, I guess, cause of death was stabbing. Oh, whoops. I won't rest until I... Okay. Here we go. Something seems to be pinned to her jacket. It's made out of purple cloth.
It looks like it's been forcibly torn off, doesn't it?
Oh. I wonder if that's the corsage. I bet it is. There is a burn mark on her hand.
Is it connected to the cause of death?
No, it appears to be an old scar. She probably got it a long time ago. It seems there's something in her hand. Detective, could you open her hand for me?
Yes, sir. Understood. This is... Oh, I know. This must be a gift card from a department Yeah.
It seems to be a key card.
Why?
The question is, what was this key card for? Okay. We're putting some stuff together. What's this little pamphlet?
This notebook.
Oh, isn't that Kay's promise notebook?
This is the notebook she wrote all her promises to her father in. Oh, whoops.
This is the notebook that she wrote all her promises to her father in. It really takes me back, sir.
Yes. When Kay was young, she and her father wrote the promises they made in this notebook. However, why is it in a place like this?
Ah, now that you mention it, I once heard something from Detective Baird a long time ago. It seems that before anyone had noticed, Kay's memento had gone missing.
What? So a piece of evidence that was in police custody went missing?
Detective Baird frantically searched all over for it, but it seems like he never found it.
What could this mean? Why was the missing notebook found here? You there, do you happen to know anything about this notebook?
The victim was carrying this notebook when we found her. That was the only evidence we had to identify the body.
So that's why you called her Kay.
What a misleading victim, huh? Why did she have Kay's notebook?
I sure would like to have some information on the victim's identity, though. Alrighty. So what do we have in logic at this point? Do we just have... Okay, yeah. 200 of the meeting, special keywords needed. Oh. Hey! Check it out! Perhaps the key card the victim was holding is for this room.
I'll go find out, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, from this room's security system, we were able to retrieve the data of the victim's card.
So that means the victim was able to freely enter this room. If the card actually belonged to the victim, of course. Yes, of course. Keycard data jotted down in my organizer. Okay, so did we zoom out because we're done with the body? Or is there more we can do here? Ah.
Could this be the murder weapon, sir?
A three-pronged candelabra. It's consistent with a number of stab wounds. Oh, that's why they're kind of uniform, too. That's interesting. He was probably stabbed by the prongs of the candelabra.
A candy zebra?
I'm afraid it's not quite what you're imagining, Detective. A candelabra is a candlestick holder with multiple arms.
Ah, so it's a candle holder. You know, one time I forgot to pay my electric bill, and I had to get by with only candles.
What time period are you from? Okay, good, so I did need to take a look at that. Anything else here we can do? How about a face? That's not what I meant. No, it's not. Stop. I pushed the wrong button, okay? Lay off. Okay, here we go. There is some blood on her head.
Maybe she was hit with something.
We don't know that for sure. Our investigation will ultimately clear that up. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Oh, there's blood in her hand. The left side of her white jacket has been stained a deep red. This jacket, the buttons are on the right side.
Isn't that normal, sir? All my clothes have the buttons on the right side.
For women, it is normal to have them on the left side.
Mr. Edgeworth, you really do know everything.
That's just common knowledge. There doesn't seem to be anything out of place.
There's something white in the pocket. They're gloves. Pure white ones. One for each hand, sir.
They don't seem to be dirty. Could they be the victims? Well, we're gonna have to find out whether the gloves are the victims and whether or not I need to deduce anything and who this person really is and all that good stuff next time on Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path episodes 1 through 5 beta. See you then!